Celebal Technologies is a premier software services organization specializing in digital transformation and enterprise innovation with a strong industry focus. Our dynamic suite of advanced solutions built on generative AI, machine learning, data science, and enterprise cloud integration positions us at the nexus of traditional enterprise systems and modern cloud innovation. With a global presence across 15 countries and customers across 25 countries, we are a workforce of 3,000 plus professionals that serve an impressive clientele of Fortune 500 companies. At Celebal, we partner with SigmaComputing to transform enterprise planning, analysis, and decision-making across finance, supply chain, HR, and production planning across industries like energy, manufacturing, and retail CPG. Sigma's intuitive interface, instant write-back, and interactive dashboards offer a fast, flexible, and scalable approach to modern planning without traditional limitations. Our solutions eliminate data silos, streamline workflows, and enhance collaboration, ensuring real-time comparisons of plan, forecast, and actual data. This unified approach empowers businesses with the right data at the right time to drive growth and innovation.
So let's talk about the problems and challenges which we are trying to address with both of these demos. The major industries we want to showcase the demos are energy, manufacturing, retail CPG, HLS, wherein we would be seeing a lot of demand versus supply scenarios. Specifically zooming into the energy part, customers would face a lot of fluctuations with the incoming supply. The power utility companies, they would face a lot of challenges with seasonal spikes, unexpected demand increase, grid stability, maintenance, among so many other factors which we need to balance to really draw a plan. Versus in SNOP, we need to maximize the potential of our forecasting engine by adding promotions, by adjusting to with respect to seasonality, optimizing inventory, and then finally the capability to kind of map this with your production plan and take it to execution. I think that's the biggest thing. Versus, these traditional platforms have created such siloed systems. Any new invention, any new scenario planning is a matter of months. Versus in Sigma, we could probably do it in a few weeks' time, right? So that's the I would say the biggest differentiator of using CT plan apps on Sigma versus using the traditional platforms. Our solution towards this is an AI-driven platform which is collaborative in nature. You have real-time write-back capabilities. You can run through your planning life cycle and then make these use cases come to fruition in real time. Now deep diving into the data app solutions and demo, which we have created for energy demand planning. So the key features and implementations we are using are majorly centered around whether I could create a what if scenario in which we'll be able to check, let's suppose if there is an event happening in a neighborhood. Now, how much load should we increase, what gencos would be providing that load, and how to redistribute the energy in the whole neighborhood and the district itself, right? Then the second thing which we are going to do is to compare the demand versus the supply on each genco level, right? We can see forecasts on a 15-minute time block. We can see forecasts for the upcoming time blocks, upcoming days, and so on and so forth. Now we use Sigma to kind of put in automated formulas. We use Sigma to have drill down views on a particular segment if we want to see what is actually happening on the ground. Then the best thing which I see is that we were always doing reporting, but then having to write back through your reporting layer directly onto your cloud warehouse or lakehouse is the best thing by which we could make this planning possible end to end, right? And then we were also able to use custom plugins to create versions on top of Sigma directly. This is the demo for our energy planning solution, which is built on top of Sigma and leveraging a lakehouse at the back end. What you would see on the screen are 4 reports, starting with the overview. So overview would give us the insights into how much power supply is there, how much demand is there, what is the contribution from renewable energy, what is the contribution from non-renewable sources. right? And you can see your grid stability index, you can see your peak loads, peak load hours. Then we can also see renewable versus non-renewable distribution among the types of renewable sources in terms of hydro, nuclear, solar, wind, etc. And then finally a graph for demand versus supply across each genco. So a power utility company might have been taking energy from multiple gencos to distribute in a neighborhood or a district. Now moving to the demand or the load analysis screen, here we can see load variability by time, right, in terms of kilowatt hours. Also energy demand per district in terms of the megawatt hour consumption it would require, right? And then by commercial and residential sectors, where we can see the commercial sector taking approximately 66% of the energy. Also there is a map view. So let's suppose if I have to drill down in a particular region, right, I can directly do that. I can also try zooming in, right, and here I would see clusters. So these clusters are nothing but they represent net load by segment and how much load is going at what segment, right? So I can just hover over them and see the details. Now moving to genco wise analysis, I could probably choose from the filter to select one genco and see their KPIs, or I could just compare all gencos directly through this. So as I can see, let's suppose there is EDF energy. 15% energy demand is getting fulfilled by renewables. The other 85% is through non-renewable sources, right? And then I can see genco production versus my backup capacity as well, because this is very crucial while planning for demand of energy. Also, I can see a reliability score versus current output metric, a graph at the bottom, wherein we can judge on how should the algorithm perform while rebalancing for any complex scenario. So this is our genco distribution page, right, in which we can perform what if scenarios on any specific events or any specific weather conditions which might require rebalancing of our energy demand and supply variables. As you can see, there is a notice board which is getting powered by a real-time news feed, and on the 8th of March there is a live concert in one of the districts, Camden, wherein more than 200,000 people would be attending this. What this means is that the commercial area where this concert is going to happen, the energy demand will be higher, and in the nearby residential areas, because people will be attending, it might get lower. So we need to adjust for this. So I'll go to the district tab, I'll select Camden. The segment I want to work for is commercial. Now let's suppose if this requires me to increase the new load by 400 megawatts. So I can do that. And I should be able to take 20% out of my retail segment's energy consumption, right? So I just save this. This will recalculate everything and give me a good enough idea on the new requirements from the genco side. So if I move to the right hand side, this gives me the net load, the existing net load, as well as the new net load, and you can see the amount it has increased this and redistributed using an AI algorithm, which takes a lot of parameters into consideration in terms of previous demands and supply patterns, previous constraints, and then formulates this redistribution. I can also see current versus remaining production capacity across gencos, and finally the visual of the obvious net load and the new net load, right? So that was the end-to-end demo for this energy demand and supply application based on Sigma. Moving towards the conclusion, so what this would bring in terms of primitive planning tools is a much more unified way of doing planning and elimination of siloed systems, right? This will reduce the tech debt of energy enterprises. And then with all the AI powered scenarios, the AI powered forecasting, you could also integrate generative AI for creating workflows, and maybe generative AI for doing some reasoning things. All of that can be embedded onto the single application. So this is really a game changer in terms of EPM for energy. Thank you. Moving towards the solutioning part of our SNOP solution now, what we bring to the table is having the power to enlighten multiple personas in terms of the sales marketing could use our SNOP solution to kind of see the variance and run scenario planning to how much they could and how easily they could meet their demand needs or their demand targets. Then the procurement and inventory persona, wherein they can see and share plans across their vendor ecosystem. They could also run some scenario planning solutions so that they can be better prepared of what demand is to come versus what procurement and inventory tasks to do. How would Sigma help us build SNOP? So Sigma has the very well known write back feature, which helps us in kind of writing back to the warehouse or lakehouse, removing any need for siloed systems or siloed ecosystem of security and DevOps. We can see drill down analytics and work across multiple hierarchies, across multiple version controls, and rework our plan. All in all, what we are doing is that we are bringing data from multiple data sources, unifying it at a single lakehouse level, and then running our forecasting and planning scenarios on top of this. So by virtue of this unification, we can run scenarios like safety stock optimization, or what happens if I change promotions in between a plan? What delta can I see? Can I improve my variance? All these questions can be answered by Sigma and the native capabilities which we have built on top of Sigma. Let's move towards the demo of sales and operations planning. Now, we have created several modules to really help the planners in plan creation, and if they want to review a plan, if they want to compare between plans, or they could even compare and create forecasts. Finally, we have some what if scenarios in which we would be able to optimize our inventory and reduce loss on the slow moving inventory items. So let's start with moving to the view plan option. We can select the table. Let's say if I select the planning table, I can select the planning year. Let's suppose if I select 2025, I can select the plan version, let's suppose V8, and then I will be able to see a lot of KPIs in terms of sales, quantity, product, sales by region, by channel type, by region. Similarly for quantities as well, I can drill down into these pie charts and see the sub trends. I can also see time trends of sales, which shows me a lot of different things. I could probably make it on a multi-year level and see trends from the system. I can go back to the previous screen. To simplify the demo, we'll move towards creating what if scenarios and not to dwell deeper into creating plans or forecasts or even comparing plans. These are basic viewing capabilities of the tool. Now here I can select any year, I can select any other filters like division or channel type. I can clear my existing table, add columns. Let's say I want to add holiday name, I want to add promotion name, I want to add weather type. These things would be added at the end just for me to help and create this plan. Then you can see some basic analytics by channel, by region. I can go to creating a plan, in which you can create a plan in two different ways. Either you could do it by the region, or you could do it by the category, right? Let's say if I want to change the category level details, I'll just click on edit data. Let's say I want to make this not 5 but 15. I'll just save this. This gets written back to my Databricks instance in the real time, and I can see my updated forecast value, right? Now you can see a table comparing what was the plan versus what is forecasted, and you can see that the forecast shows us an 8% jump versus the actuals, right? You can now move towards the next part of managing your inventory. So within this inventory ecosystem, my target is to reduce as much loss as possible, because there is a lot of inventory holding cost versus each SKU, and we would want to optimize on that, right? So let's suppose if I have applied these promotions and I can see the forecasting values, these are my revenue loss which is getting forecasted, and I would want to kind of, let's suppose, see if we can do anything better. So buy one get one, I can change it to flash 30. So there was these original recommendations coming from the machine learning model, and we are now trying to do some scenario planning on this. Let's suppose if I do flash 30 and I save this again gets written back to my system, the lake house, and then all the values get updated. And you can see our updated loss, which reduced from $402 to $241 per SKU, right? We can also see the quantities we need to procure, the current inventory quantities, our product wise procurement quantity, and this gives a very detailed layout as to, if a planner wants to edit these details, he can directly do that from this place. Now this is the end-to-end power of my SNOP workflow, right, wherein I can have multiple personas using this dashboard on top of Sigma, running their planning layouts, running what if scenarios, and seeing the change in numbers in the real time. Moving towards the conclusion phase. Now, what your enterprise will get out of this system is much more forecasting accuracy. This would enable your business users and planners to solve their day-to-day needs, manage all the hustle of replenishments, inventory optimizations, running promotions, choosing between promotions, that too with a click of a button, getting powered by the state-of-the-art AI algorithms. Our generative AI powered workflows are also in the system to kind of make everything a lot easier, a lot more efficient. Then it provides a lot of agility, it removes siloed systems, kind of unifies everything onto a single platform getting powered by Sigma. That's the whole idea, that's our forte, and this solution by Celebal Tech. Thank you.
As businesses move beyond legacy tools, the need for real-time AI-powered planning solutions has never been greater. The power of Sigma, combined with ERP data and cloud-native data platforms, enables organizations to eliminate data silos, simplify data architectures, and make instant data-driven decisions without the complexity and limitations of traditional platforms. With features like instant write-back, AI-driven forecasting, and dynamic dashboards, organizations can adjust forecasts on the fly, run complex simulations, and optimize planning processes seamlessly. This agile and data-centric approach fuels innovation, enhances efficiency, and provides a competitive edge in today's fast-moving landscape. At Celebal Technologies, we are pushing the boundaries of planning and analytics, helping businesses move from static reports to real-time actionable data. By embracing this integrated ecosystem, enterprises can scale smarter, plan faster, and build a strong foundation for sustainable growth in an AI-powered future. And we are just getting started.